Welcome to Just Chatting.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
We're just chatting. We are just.
it's just wild how much has changed. And honestly, like, do you think that it's gonna keep changing? Do you think it's gonna keep changing as fast as it has been?
Technology is getting scary. It's at the point where it's becoming concerning.
Well, no, okay, but we can talk about that. But like, the fact that I just find it so wild that I grew up in a generation where like now kids are just constantly on Snapchat, on this, on that. But like when I was younger, I didn't have iPhones. I didn't have like any. It was still like flip phones when I was younger. So I was out. I was doing shit. I
used to go in like chat rooms. Remember that stupid shit?
On computer?
Anybody that's a little over 40, 1980s baby will remember chat rooms. You just go into like AOL, stupid bullshit, weirdos talking to you don't even know. That was my form of social media back in the day. I remember when Facebook first started, and somebody I was dating or something like that was like, "You're not on Facebook," and I guess it was like geared towards college students, and
that movie was amazing.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this? And I remember pulling up the original Facebook with that weird shadow icon on the top. It was meant for universities. I was like, what is this? And they were like, oh, it's replacing MySpace. I'm like, this is weird, but it catered to certain schools. I think there was a drop down where you could choose your school.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but like it's wild to see where it went and stuff like that. Because I remember in the OG days, I remember when people were like, you don't have a Gmail?
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
What I want to understand is like, how are these companies making it socially, like the social pressure to sign up for it? Because I remember there was a lot of social pressure to sign up for Facebook. You don't have a Facebook?
That is...
You know what? I kind of like MySpace. My little icon was a guy doing a windmill. You know the breakdance move? Mm-hmm. I had music on my page. I could adjust the pictures. I messed with the HTML. I kind of liked MySpace.
Because the reason why that happened was because Facebook set, or it just anything.
No, there was like some kind of Gmail,
Facebook. They set themselves up.
No, there's nothing wrong with Gmail. Gmail, all good. Yeah. Let's get a Gmail. But the weird pressure in society. Oh, you don't have a Facebook? Oh, you should get a Facebook. But
you were talking about,
MySpace does the same thing.
Like you were talking about, being judgmental back then was very accepted. It was almost pushed. And so back then, the clothing you wore, everything, the car you drove, everything was judged.
Oh, yeah.
So think about it.
Let me back up. People still judge. They just don't talk.
No,
they look at your watch. They look at your shoes. They look at your car.
But
they just don't say anything.
But it was a big separation between the cool kids, right?
Yeah.
And so back then, just looking at how things were, like if you weren't on the new trendy thing.
So you're younger than me. So do you recall, like, how? I wish I could just sit Zucks down for a minute and go, how did you create the weird social pressure for people to basically do the marketing for you?
I'm telling you what. I'm telling you how. It's back to when there was that massive separation that I just mentioned. The cool kids, or the new thing. There was a lot of new things coming out. For me, iPhone was the new thing. If you didn't have an iPhone, you were a loser. That when I was younger, when I got the iPod Nano, that was the coolest thing.
I still got my Nano.
Flipping it on your shirt, whatever. Like Facebook, that same exact thing. It was the new thing. Everyone was used to MySpace. The new thing was Facebook. So everyone was getting on it. If you didn't have it, you were missing out. It's the fear of missing out.
But who influenced that? Like, it was some kind of like
who. Everyone wants.
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but like it was just really weird how everybody conveniently was like pressuring each other to go on Facebook.
What else was there other than Facebook?
MySpace, dude.
Okay, what else was new other than Facebook?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's why. That's how it happened. Because they were the only. No one else was doing what they were doing, and everyone wanted to be involved. That's what, dude. They didn't even mean to do this, but starting off in colleges was genius because everyone was excited and like it was like new, and you're at the age where you can, dude, it was perfect timing. Perfect timing, honestly. Okay, I had a similar. I had a similar experience with Snapchat. You had to be on Snapchat, but Snapchat was new. It provided a new way of communicating. You could. I remember when Snapchat, what was it, 2012? I was just getting an iPhone. I was just on, we were getting used to these. It was just, Snapchat was the same thing as your Facebook. How do you feel about, did you see the whole new stuff with Elon Musk changing Twitter's name to X?
Yeah, and then I guess the name's already taken.
Well, no, but he's making jokes about it. He bought that account for 69,420,420.69. I think it was.
He bought what
He
account?
didn't actually buy the account. I don't think he actually did, but he was making jokes about it, that he was going to buy that account to have that X name because it was already taken for 69,420,000.
Somebody owns the domain?
Someone owned the name, the handle.
Yeah.
You just said that.
X. Wow. No. It's a registered trademark.
Oh, I have no idea.
No. Somebody owns, I read somebody.
Well, he already changed the name to X.
He changed the
He changed the name of Twitter to X. I just love Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg going at it, because Mark Zuckerberg made that app Threads that we all knew was gonna, I don't know. It connects right to Instagram. They were trying to compete with Twitter, and I don't think it worked. I don't think it did at all. And it's just, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are going to fight or something like that, right?
I'd love to see that.
You have the driest responses right
I'd love
now.
to see it. Hey!
I'm talking about Threads. Like, did you see all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Nice. They're going at it using social platforms.
But I have a feeling that it's going to be... They're going to throw in the towel quick if anybody gets a little too hurt.
Dude, yeah. Who do you think would win? I want Elon Musk to win, but Zuckerberg.
But Elon's a bigger dude.
But Zuckerberg's smaller and he looks ripped. Pull up a picture of Zuckerberg. I mean, he's chilling with Israel. Like, he's chilling with, like, these big martial arts players.
I don't know who would win. I don't know. Because if Elon trains...
Elon's a big dude too. He's not out of shape.
Yeah, he's not small.
He's not small. He's not out of shape.
He's got that big barrel.
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, that like yeah.
Yeah, he's not small, so I don't know.
Do you think it's a really big flex? Yeah, look at that, dude. He's like in really good shape. So we were talking about old platforms and how technology has just completely transformed. And I was saying, these platforms, they exploded technology from when I was a child, when there was no iPhones. We had the basic computers, all that stuff. Things have changed drastically.
I'm not fully aware of this, but I would be driving my car, and then a little rain would fall, and then my wipers turn on automatically.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of this officially being a technology. You guys can laugh. I don't know if there's a button for this, but it would automatically turn on.
You didn't know about that?
I had no idea.
You know the windshield wiper thing?
No idea. I'm driving.
I'm telling
A
you.
little bit of rain, and then...
You know the windshield wiper thing? How you press it to make the windshield wipers go off? You press down on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You push it up one, and the green bar lights up, and that means it's automatic. It's in both of our cars.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Shit. I didn't know that. There is so much magic about the BMW 7 Series. There's so much magic that it gets overwhelming for the average person to just consume all that data in a short amount of time. So what I just do the swimming pool approach. I just jump into that vehicle. I roll, and whatever happens, happens. If I start to float, if I start to go to the moon, I might get a little bit nervous.
Speaking of data.
If it starts to fly, and speaking of data.
No, I don't.
I'm going to get into it. No. I hit the brake.
Okay, back to what I was saying. Let's stay on topic here, my friend. When I was a kid, I'm going to say this again so I can start When I was a kid, we didn't have iPhones. We didn't have a lot of technology. I was fortunate to grow up in a world that didn't rely on iPhones and tech and all this stuff. I witnessed the just complete launch and vertical just skyrocket of technology and its advances, and it makes me think, like, is it going to stop here, or is it going to keep going? Because, like, the new processing chips in the Apple laptops, the new gaming consoles, the new everything, the new iPhones, the fact that I remember when the iPhone came out with a really good camera, and DSLR companies were like, oh, like they're coming out with really good lenses, and obviously it's never going to touch a legit DSLR camera. Obviously, I know that. But the fact that this camera right here, I can hold it like this. I'm recording you in 4K at 60 frames per second right now, and it looks good. I can put it in slow motion. And then I can also take a, 24 megapixel picture. On this camera right here. I have 3 different options for it. Like, that's crazy. Isn't that wild? Like how this can do that now, and that's just cameras. Computers are changing. We have VR. We have all this stuff. Is it going to stop, or is it going to keep going? What do you think? Do you think that, and where does it go from here? Do we now start? Tesla cars came out. They fully electric autonomous vehicles are coming out. We're seeing Ubers with no drivers. Where is it going to keep going? What's you know what I mean? Where is the technology is it gonna stop? Is it gonna keep going? Where does it go from here? Do you see it continuing to advance? And I'm not talking about like AI and that type of stuff. Like obviously whatever. We have these AI tools. I don't know how far that's gonna go. I'm talking about everyday technology. iPhones, iPads, computers, watches, cars, like stuff like that. Stuff that has advanced insanely in the past 20 years.
Okay. Okay.
That was a question. You've noticed a difference in technology since you were a kid, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. It has changed quite a bit in the past 20 years.
Insanity.
And being an adult who is literate and notices these changes happening right in front of your eyes.
Yep.
From a phone becoming a phone to a smartphone to a DSLR camera, all in this little box right here.
Yeah.
Just as one example. Fully autonomous vehicles, electric vehicles, all this shit coming up. Do you see, is this a cap in technology, in everyday life technology, phones, computers, laptops, watches, cars?
Well, sometimes in my honest opinion, technology can reach a level of unrealistic levels of ridiculousness where it's like kind of overkill. So that's why I feel like they control the evolution of technology. So they have technology that's way more advanced, but people aren't ready for it. So they do these little steps, juice that orange, squeeze as much revenue and money you can out of that, and then they give us a little bit more, and then a little bit more
about. Yeah, and honestly,
it's probably shit way more advanced than we can even fathom, dude. I actually know that for
already
a fact.
Available. Yeah, but do you think that with the control of the powers and the companies and just the way that technology has been going for the past decade, however long, do you think it's going to continue to get more and more advanced, or do you think that there's going to be a cap for a little bit? You think that this is going to be a cap until some company comes around like Apple did 20 years ago and say, we're going to revolutionize the way that the phone is used. We're going to revolutionize the way the car is used.
Of course, yeah. I believe that it's going to keep progressing forward. I believe we are going to hit a period of it slowing down because it's just so damn advanced.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that now is the time? Because honestly, the past couple years have been a little stagnant. They've been coming up with this VR stuff, which is great, but it's like...
It's kind of like the TVs. Like, how much resolution do you need? How much can the human eye see? 4K,
yeah.
5K, 8K, 100K, like what's going on?
Dude, my first TV in my room was this box TV. You remember those box TVs with the one CD disc player, and you can only put... I had that. That was in my room, and I'm 24 years old. And now in my room, I have this beautiful 4K screen that's the size of a credit card. It's like, okay, so 20 years have gone by. That's what they've come out with. Now what's next?
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, like, I feel like TVs have been a little stagnant for a little bit too. People keep saying that, technology is advancing all the time. What industry do you think needs to be revolutionized, that needs to change?
An industry that needs to change, the education system.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, that's like, yeah. I mean, I don't know why it hasn't been yet. I think people have tried, but just it's too much control. I don't want to get into
Someone could do it with enough, like if someone like, what's his name? The guy there, the famous investor dude, Warren Buffett. So like if Warren Buffett came in and started a school, like a business school or a school that had a different model rather than the traditional model, he'd be unstoppable. What are they gonna do? You can get all the licenses, certifications, and just be like, shut the fuck up. This is what we're gonna do, and revolutionize it. College should be $99 a month.
Imagine a subscription college.
Boom. Or just you don't have to call
VR.
it. You don't even have to call it college. You just call it advanced education, because people think, and they get in this mindset that education ends after 4 years or 6 years or 8 years. No.
I feel like it continues for your whole life.
Continue your education. You should reinforce what you're learning. I listen to business books all the time. I don't claim I know everything. No, I listen and I keep an open mind. I don't agree with everything I hear and read and see or whatever. I don't care how big the guru is. There are things that I strongly disagree that some of the most biggest influential people say. Nobody's perfect. So like, let's say there's a big guru talking on TV and they have, or whatever, on YouTube, and they got like 500 million followers, right? I'll find things that I strongly, passionately disagree with. And then stupid people would say, oh, well, yeah. But I have a logical explanation on why I disagree from, let's say, real world experience. Like, I don't want to name drop, but like, I've seen big gurus give the advice of cutting corners for the sole purpose to make money. They were like, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
Do this, do that, make money. It's number one. And I'm like, that's the byproduct of doing a good job. Why are you giving people this advice? I'm sorry. I strongly disagree with you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
But like this is like an example of one. And then there's a bunch of others that say stupid shit. I
think it's all driven by get rich quick. It's like,
I don't care about somebody's fame. I will hear what they have to say. Maybe 70% of it I agree with. Maybe 10% of it I never heard of before and I'm learning, which is part of the process. And then maybe the rest of the percentage is stuff that maybe I'm kind of in between. I'm in the middle of the road. I'm not always like, hey, tell me everything. And I'm not like that with business gurus. I only listen to other business gurus to understand different approaches, different mindsets. I do have my own beliefs and my own vision and drive and strategy on how I run business, which is a little bit unorthodox. But I always like to keep an open mind. And it's always good to hear from other successful people and what they have to say. Never be closed-minded. Keep an open mind, but don't be afraid to be a critic. Don't be afraid, because if you believe something here, don't be afraid to stand by your beliefs. As long as it makes sense and it's logical. It has to have logic. It has to make sense. You can't go around just completely like doing crazy shit that doesn't make sense. So keep that in mind too. I'm waiting for the 100%.
100%. 100%. 100. Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable.
Hit the bell, hit subscribe, follow us on that thing called IG.
It's subscribe.
Don't be a hater.
See you later.
Don't be a hater. See you later. That was fucking dope.